Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hormone Helper Podcast. I'm Coach Andrew, your hormone helper from Fit for All Fitness. I personally coach over 1,600 men and women to help better understand their hormones so they can lose weight and get their metabolism back on track. With this podcast, you're going to hear from me and my special guests about everything from metabolism to thyroid to weight loss. And we even talk a little bit of sexy time as we chat to spread more knowledge thick like butter on your hormones. If you're ready to learn, I'm ready to share, so let's do this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Hormone Helper Podcast. I am so charged up to chat about success today and what it takes to get success in your health and your fitness goals with every single one of you. So for the last 3 nights, me and Lauren have been sitting on the couch in the evening. We drink our tea like we always do, and we were sharing stories of what the people around us have accomplished back to back. She was sharing clients in her Decisive Diets Academy. I was talking about the clients in the Vantage program because I always just get so pumped when people, see good changes in their life. And it made me bring up something really, really interesting. I freaking love it. I love it when clients that I work with hit a new weight goal. They start sending me messages that they're no longer feeling bloated. They're reaching out to me saying, even something small like, hey, coach, I took an hour for myself today. All of these things are really, really great, and it shows a huge level of growth, okay? Because it's one thing for people to say that they want to achieve a goal or that they want to see success when they start to work with me, and it's another when they actually take the time to do the steps required to make that success happen, okay? So we're on the couch. I just immediately lit up, and then after we start to share our weekly client successes, I started telling Lorna, like, success has certain traits and conditions. And what I mean by that is, like, I can tell immediately when I meet somebody or when I work with someone, whether or not they're going to accomplish the goal that they share with me or not. And a lot of people think that that's really weird because it truly is a skill when you can look at someone and be like, you're going to be successful and you're going to succeed. And that's what I'm going to share with you right now, because there are several traits that I see every single day that if you have them are going to guarantee success, not just within my coaching programs, but also in life. Now, I used a word that most coaches won't use, okay? And that's guarantee. And look, I'm very well aware that life has no guarantees. I know this, okay? But actually, that's only if you consider the possibility of stopping at failure. Because any single person that stops at failure is guaranteed to never hit the goal that they want, right? And so that's why most coaches don't use it. They're scared of using the word guarantee because they know that they don't have control over what someone does or the actions that they choose to take to work towards their health. They can't control how someone looks at their fitness goals. And they believe that as coaches, that when you choose to work with them, that it becomes their responsibility to make sure that they control every single part of your life. And because they know that that's not possible, that's why most coaches won't ever say guarantee or won't ever offer a guarantee for you. But check this out. I've coached close to 3,800 people over the span of these past years. And at this point, I've learned a few things about failure and about people and about the guarantee in life. Like when it comes to failure, I learned early that nobody likes to fail because most people have become accustomed to receiving failure as this like negative signal that failure is bad, that failure should be something that we should avoid. And I've also learned that 90% of people are going to stop attempting something after the third or fourth attempt. And that's because with each failure, they also start to lose confidence in themselves. And so they become more afraid or more concerned to take that step with risk of failing again. And that makes sense, right? Now, when it comes to people and how they operate day to day, I've opened up my eyes a lot more. In working with so many people, I've learned that most people have dreams, but some don't actually want their dreams bad enough to reach for them. I've also learned and seen that there are people who try to hit goals, but who try to hit those goals out of a place of what I call lack, where they feel like they need success so desperately that if they don't lose the weight right now, or they don't make the money this year, that they're going to be deemed a failure and they're never going to get what they want. And I share these things for one reason, and it's this. For every single success you want to receive and achieve in your life, you are going to have to experience an equal and opposite full of fear of failure. The bigger the goal, the bigger the risk, and so the bigger the possibility that you might fail. But that is what makes success great. I mean, think of a time where you worked hard to make something happen, where you were really uncertain that you could actually work through it, but somehow you made it work. Somehow you managed to make it happen. You succeeded. How good did you feel? How lit up were you? How excited and powerful and inspired did you feel at that moment? I'm sure you celebrated. I'm sure you acknowledged how difficult or challenging it was hitting that goal. And then what happened? You became confident to take the next step or work on another goal in your journey of life. This is how my clients feel when they work with us in the Vantage program. This is what they get to experience every single day through the journey of consistent weight loss, through the journey of diet ditching, and the journey through removing bloating and working on their hormones, the whole bit. And here's the thing, to the regular person on the outside, when they're looking at these clients' lives, almost all of them say, well, what the heck? Why is it working for you when it's not working for me? How does it become so easy to make changes with food or to change up your workouts and start seeing changes and results so quickly? Well, I'm here to tell you it's pretty simple. The people we work with in the Vantage program are no nonsense. They're highly driven, they're highly motivated people who don't take failing as an option for their health and their fitness. Now, it doesn't mean that they don't make mistakes. It doesn't mean that they aren't scared to implement things they've never done before. It also doesn't mean that they rely on motivation all the time because, let's be real, that shot glass of motivation, it empties pretty quick. What it is they just have a completely different mindset to how they approach effort, to how they look at failure, to how they build evidence for confidence, and finally, how they decide changes so that way they can keep their commitments. To me, that mindset is everything. And it's not just related to their weight loss or stabilizing their hormones, it is attached to the businesses that they own. It presents itself in the relationships that they build. It even shows up as values in their family dynamic at home. Without a strong and healthy mindset, there is no way that you can manifest anything that you are setting out to accomplish. Because the process of manifestation always starts with thinking. And if you've never known this process before, I'm going to show you how to get anything that you want in life right now. It's thinking, then being, then planning, then action. Action is only 10% of the process of making something happen. And that is why there are people doing similar, if not the same stuff as you, but they're getting a complete different result. It's because the rest of the manifestation process for them, the rest of the success for them is totally different. So, for example, if I'm going to think, making changes to my food is going to work from the get-go. If I'm going to say to myself, I'm going to work on my nutrition and it's going to work. It's going to work this time. Then I have an investment, I have an emotional buy-in towards that change. When I'm emotionally bought in, I try harder. I make more changes. I stay more consistent. And that allows me to be in the present moment and see where my starting point is. And then I can determine where I have to go. If I have an end and a start, that allows me to make a plan. But to make that plan with confidence, each plan step, like this example, meal prep, grocery shopping, meal timing, it becomes a plan that looks and feels realistic for me to maintain. So only then do I take action on it because now I'm in total and complete alignment from thought to action with the decisions and the thought of changing my food. We need to change our mindsets first before we make any changes to what we're doing with training, with nutrition, or with our lifestyle. Otherwise, we might do them for the wrong reasons or with only half a buy in that they're going to work. So let me share with you how the clients in the Vantage program look in terms of mindset. And I want to start with how they approach effort. Effort is not something that you try once and you are done. Effort is something that builds. It's about what we call in fitness progressive overload, making 1 to 2 small changes every single day and always applying yourself. It's not about showing up at 100% every day. It's about showing up at whatever capacity you can every day. And that's what effort is. If today you only got 60%, then give the 60%. If tomorrow you got 90%, great, give that. If the day after you only got 10%, give the 10. But keep giving, because the part of effort where a lot of people stop is people think that effort is something you front load. I have to put all the work up front. I got to do all the prep. I got to do all the systems. I got to look at all my habits, my routines. I got to redo my schedule. I got to block all my meals in, and they put all this work up front, and then they leave no effort for the do. They leave no effort for the change. They leave no effort for the assessment. And the people who are in our Vantage program, they've tried diets 4 to 5 times. They've done different things like Noom and Weight Watchers, and they talk to their doctors about Ozempic, and they know that regardless of whether if they're on Zoom or they're tracking macros or they're taking the medication, they cannot get out of the work. The work is still going to be there. They're still going to have to track every single day, watch their food every single day, be cautious of what they're eating every single day. And this is just using food as an example. You see, they've come to the understanding in their life that effort equals the level of your results. So the more effort I put into something, the further I'm going to go, the more results that I'm going to see. And this is where the guarantee comes into play. Most people would say, if I knew that I was guaranteed to lose 30 pounds in weight, I would commit to the entire process. Well, here's the thing. You have a guarantee. As long as you continue, you are guaranteed to succeed eventually. And as long as you stop, you are guaranteed to fail immediately. Those are the two guarantees that you have in your life. So when clients come and they work with us, effort is something that they are prepared to do every single day. They know that there's going to be changes that they're uncomfortable with. They know that there's going to be things that they've never done before. They also know that they're not going to put all of this work up front and then take a back seat in their life. They always want to stay in the driver's seat so it's easier to navigate every single day. Now, the second thing is how they look at failure. I love the fact that when the clients work with us in our Vantage in our group coaching program, they don't see failure as I'm going to try, and if I don't lose 3 pounds in the first week, I'm going to be defeated. Because where I'm seeing a lot of people go wrong now in success is they have this terrible relationship with failure where if they tried something once, they're just like, it's not for me. Like, I'm meant to be overweight forever. I'm meant to have thyroid issues forever. I'll be bloated for the rest of my life. I'm just going to have to accept the fact that my doctor's like, oh, you're getting up there in age, so this is why you feel like a freaking mess. When the reality is like, just because something didn't work the first time doesn't mean that it's not going to work in multiple attempts. So someone like Elon Musk is phenomenal for this. He didn't stop at the first rocket. The first rocket told him what he needed to not be doing. And he kept launching rockets until he got a rocket to go up into the air and then self land and come back down and not blow up. So every single time you fail, the people in the Vantage program, it's not that they're not successful. It's that when something doesn't work, like they've changed something in their routine and they miss the workout, they're not like, oh, I'm a failure. They're like, okay, the workout didn't work here. They ask themselves why, and then they reach out to me for support. We make adjustments so it can succeed in the next time. See, failure is really about a learning lesson, and it's not really about the thing of, oh, you messed up, you should feel terrible, this is bad, you're never going to succeed. And when we start to look at failure as this opportunity and this lesson for us to learn, we start to get excited about failing. I love pushing myself to failure. I love when I see things that don't work because then I know I'm so close to something that is going to work. And if you think about it, every single aspect of growth in our life happens from when we fail, when we work out and we're pushing reps. The entire point is to push our body to failure. So it fails on purpose because when it fails, the muscle will grow and will grow stronger and we become a stronger person. When it comes to habits and someone is running a business and then all of a sudden they're like, you know what? I have so many clients, I don't have time for myself anymore. Their schedule broke down. This is an amazing growing opportunity in two ways. They can look at their business and they can say, hey, how do I make the adjustments so I do have the time? And change their systems, or they change up their routine so they can have a more ironclad routine that's not going to break down so easily and it'll be more resilient. So every single person in our program, they view failure as a stepping stone and a way for us to get feedback on what we need to change. Now, with any type of failure, there's the aspect of building evidence for confidence. And this is really important. Every single person who works with me is crazy confident. They're confident that the coaching will work. They're confident in the process. And that's the only thing that you truly need is confidence, especially because a lot of the times with health and fitness, you might have to do things that you've never done before. Like if someone doesn't know how to eat right for their body type and they've never learned about hormones before, making changes with food while not dieting, while not tracking macros, while not weighing your food on a scale will feel very weird. And they won't have any evidence to see whether or not it's going to work because they've never done it before. Or if you've never, like you go and you're exercising 7 days a week, and all of a sudden we tell you, hey, you're going to have to wind it down to 3 because you're burning out your cortisol, and they don't have any evidence of less workouts working more than more workouts, well, then guess what? This is where they have to build evidence. The way that our clients in the Vantage program build evidence is they build it with things that they know. Evidence is confidence, which is so important because there are things that you've done in your life that you do know. Like, for example, making a habit of finishing things that you start. All of our clients in the Vantage program have that habit. They finish things they start. So if you've never done something before, but you know that you have the habit of finishing things that you start, then even though you don't know it, you know that you're going to finish it. So there's confidence that's in that. Now, the evidence of anytime I make a mistake, I'm making an adjustment and it works. Okay, well, even if you've never done the thing before, if you say to yourself, well, every single thing that I haven't done, I always was able to find the solution and make the tweak, then I know that this is going to work for me. And that's where the confidence comes in. It's the inner mindset to know that you can, even in the face of adversity. Well, when they make a change, they're like, I've never done this before, but let's see. Let's go for it. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a chance. And in doing that chance, that's when it allows them to start making those decisions. So that way they can start seeing more results with their process. So they can start losing that 2.2 to 3.2 pounds per week. So they can start seeing the changes in their hormones and the stabilization of all of their menopausal issues. All of that comes from making those adjustments. Now, in any program, there's going to be things that you're going to need to change. And one of the biggest things that our people have a super level of success with is making the decisions on how they decide changes so they can keep commitment. Because let's be real, health is not the only thing that you've got going on in your life. You've got a career, you might have a business, you've got relationships, you've got other commitments that you have. So, how do we decide what changes that we have to make and what commitments that we're going to keep? And a lot of it involves saying yes to ourselves and saying no to things that don't serve us. And it doesn't mean that we have to say no forever, but the no is not right now because you start to prioritize. And I made a podcast episode on this about the word deciding, where you have to basically split the sides and you need to pick a lane and stay with it. When our clients make changes to their health and their fitness, when they decide that they're going to go to bed at 9 p.m., they don't make that and then say the next day, oh, maybe it should be 9:30, maybe it should be 10. Like they stick to it and they commit because they've made the decision already that this is something that's important to me. And the people who make decisions and act upon them immediately, they're the ones who see the greatest amount of success because most people waste time in their health and fitness journey going the back and forth, where they're on a diet, but they're off a diet. They try something for a week, but they're off for a week. Not our clients. When our clients decide to do something, bam, it's in. Okay, cool. You want me to make the food? Hey, I've decided that the food is going to make a change in my plan and in my life. So every single day from now on, I've got Wednesday and Sunday as my meal prep days. Cool. In deciding, in literally putting that together, in making that commitment, they, at that moment, they have confirmed what the result is going to be. And then we reassess. And that's the best part about this entire process. You reassess things that work, you keep them and you double down. Things that need adjustments, you make those adjustments so you can start to see more success. But these traits, all of the traits that I just shared with you, they are things that you can apply into all aspects of your life. When you're approaching effort with anything in your life, like our clients, do not put all the effort up front and give up. Make the commitment that effort is going to be at whatever capacity you can at that day to the best of your ability, but every single day. When you're looking at failure, don't stop at the first time something didn't work. Celebrate because that's one less thing that you can knock off the list, and then you make adjustments so you can continue to get better. And then you've got to build evidence so you can get really confident with what you're doing. Look at the things you've accomplished in the past. Everyone has something that they've done and that they've done well. So there's no reason as to why you can't succeed and you can't get better. So look at the reason on how they build confidence. And then the last thing, decide. Don't be this half in or half out. When our clients commit to the program, they finish the program. When our clients make the decision that they want to work with a coach, they reach out same day and they're like, hey, I literally saw your post and I'm in. How do we do this? By being decisive, you shorten the time that it takes for you to go through this entire process. But I mean, think about this. Like, program like the Vantage program is 4 months long, and in 4 months, you can be 30 pounds down. You can have all of your hormones stable and not have any digestive issues. Versus someone who might spend 6.5 months humming and hawing, 3 months then going to a doctor trying to figure stuff out. And then by the time you know it, they're a year into their journey and they haven't even seen any progress. So success is those things. It's largely mindset that manifests then into physical action, thinking, being, planning, and then acting. So speaking of acting, we have spots open for our Vantage program. I've been talking about it all for the month of June, and I'm going to continue to talk about it because the people who work with us, they're incredibly decisive, and I freaking love that. If you've been listening to this podcast, especially like this podcast has been going for close to 2 years now, and you're like, hey, weight loss is something I struggle with, metabolism is something I struggle with, then we have spots that are open. We are accepting 8 more applicants because we've already got 2, which is phenomenal in the program, working for a total of 16 weeks. And we can set with you on your goals, work on the nutrition, work on weight loss, work on balancing your hormones. We help with the activity and keeping you accountable, but most importantly, helping you shift that mindset so you can be the best version of yourself. So I'm going to drop the link, of course, for the program, but you can either just shoot me over an email at andrew@fit4allstudio.com to say you're interested in the Vantage program, or go into the show notes and then you can click the URL. That's where our application is for the group coaching program, and then it'll set you up to hop on a call with me. So my goal is for us to get that total of the 10 people in for June, because July, August, especially through the summer, I know is a challenge. That's when everybody has a lot of issues because they're making a lot of food choices on the fly. And let's just get this started and nailed down so you can go into holiday season and love it. Okay. Now, before I end this episode, literally do not end this right here. I'm being serious. Okay. I want to let you know something that's outside of the Vantage program. Okay. We've got a special series that's going to be coming, and it's called the C2C series, Coach to Coach. And this is where I'm going to be making content for coaches in the industry who become better coaches. I have a lot of health and fitness professionals that listen to this podcast that want like information, tools, knowledge on how they can start to show up as a higher level of themselves. So stay tuned for the next episode, because the next episode is going to be talking more about this coach to coach series. I'm super excited to be able to bring it out. But even if you're not a coach, the exciting thing for you in this episode is the Vantage program. So if you're in, you're in. Decide, let's do it. If you're a coach, cool, listen to the next episode. This stuff is for you. Other than that, have the rest of a phenomenal day. Coach Andrew out, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye. Well, it seems I'm all out of info juice for today. That's all for this episode, and thank you so much for listening. Please leave a raving review for me if you've learned something good, and make sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss an episode. Now, if you're in the mood for some more great content and tools to get your hormones on track, why not check out our free Facebook group and the blog on our site? We do amazing weekly trainings in our group that me and my wife call Tea and Teachings that give good tips for anything hormones and metabolism related. It's also a great community where you get to share your goals and success with like-minded people just like you. I'll make sure to drop both the Facebook group link and the blog link in the show notes for you. Or if you're ambitious like me, the name of the group is Weight Loss and Balanced Hormones. It'll say Fit for All beside it with a picture of me. So come and join us and have more fun.